Hello, my name is Gabriel Casals, and I'm here to present the Manager of Managers role and its impacts on Agile teams. Talk a bit about myself. I have more than 10 years experience on IT departments, working on a big multinational and currently on a scaling startup named Rocket Chat. My perspective, I have a good balance of hands-on experience and also educations and certifications for theoretical sides. Here to share a bit of the combination, and hopefully you'll be able to pick some insights on the manager of managers role. And this is a big portion of why we're here, but also because I don't think this is a role that's mentioned enough on the agile formation and agile perspective, and especially how the senior management team can influence the adoption and results from agile. So here to shed some light on this content as well. The agenda, this manager of managers role, the goals, and impacts related to these goals on the agile teams. And before we can get to the manager of managers, we need to speak about the manager role. And the manager is an individual who is responsible for people and their deliverables. On people's side, taking care of them, making sure they are building up as a team and that they are able to communicate efficiently and effectively for the outcomes, being it process, product, or projects, make sure that those are being achieved, the goals expected of these initiatives are being achieved. And on the meantime, resolving any problems and conflicts related to this team, getting ideas to be implemented and worked on. So that's the manager role. The manager of manager is responsible for multiple managers, tech leads, or coordinators, and is the person making sure the strategy is built, that the targets are appropriately viewed, that match this strategy, and picking and matching the different pieces of the puzzles, getting all the needed resources, being it financial resources, people related, or material resources to be applied and used by these different managers and their squads. So he's a facilitator from strategy, mission to really achieving the vision. And the areas of work on a more macro perspective for the manager of managers is finding the right people, making sure he's selecting the proper people to be allocated on the different teams, making sure that the company has a business strategy, that it's checking for the different business perspectives and understanding the value being provisioned by the company and translating it to the different teams on a macro level, making sure the budget is properly reviewed and then allocated to the different squads, and understanding the different resources and moving pieces on the organization. After checking the macro, like really seeing all the systems, from time to time, he might go into a specific planet or specific macro environment where the manager of managers should be providing key information, revising the game plans for the squads, facilitating these squads' communication and interactions, even if it's with other squads. In case it's needed, provide lectures, training, and other resources to these squads, and of course, helping to share ideas and facilitate the process. The big word for the manager of managers is a facilitator. He is the one linking the micro of everything to the macro of the big system in the company. This is the person responsible for having the strategy work, focus on the strategy, so that the information and resources can be balanced and assigned to the different squads on a proper manner. And where does it link to Agile? Well, the manager of managers is focused on the business objectives, the main company business objectives, not just a specific squad. So this person should be checking for the values, assessing this value, and assessing how to best deliver, how to prioritize the different pieces of work to best deliver this value. Then check into the agile maturity and see if agile is working, how it's being implemented, if it's the company is doing agile or being agile and really being on a constant, continuous delivery and continuous improvement methods, assessing for it, and even deciding or helping decide when to scale the company in terms of agile or even on terms of actual company scale. And for the day-to-day, work on three little items: making sure the direction is right, make sure that the company is moving on the right speed, and understanding what are the constraints for the different squads and for the company. Kind of similar to the stand-ups, right? So really assessing business value being delivered, the speed, and then focusing on removing blockers so that the teams can shine and deliver the expected value. The impacts, managers of managers have a big portion on thinking the strategy and translating it, so they are a big help on a thriving organization. If they are focused and oriented for the business value, they should be able to help think on how the company should innovate and respond to change. And one leads to the other, these are linked. And the better the company responds to change, the more it will innovate, and the more it will thrive, and the more it will innovate, the more they will face different changes on the environment. So Agile is all about adapting and delivering the value. If the manager of managers is not aligned with the core principles and concepts of Agile, this person would not be able to help deliver a thriving organization, and therefore will make the entire Agile system fail. So translating from micro on each team to a macro level, facilitating the efforts, facilitating the resources, handling, and making sure that the right people are on the right places to do the work and achieve the goals. That's the role. And some of the do's and don'ts: definitely the person on this role should not assume they know everything. Most of their time they're on strategy and thinking on a more macro level. So they should not assume that they know everything. They should rely and empower the managers and senior employees to work and lead the teams. They're the ones that will have all the details from the day to day, and the manager of managers should not assume they know everything. Dig into details. All details is not advisable. It's hard to manage the agenda focusing on strategy. Don't think that you have the time to dig into all the details every time, every day. Also, do not expect that doing the same thing from a manager will work. The goals are different. As I mentioned, manager is more focused on a squad and a team. Manager of managers more focused on the bigger picture, the strategy, and how the different pieces of the puzzle will be allocated and matched to build the final puzzle. So these are a few of the don'ts. The do's: definitely empower people. Coach and mentor should have a good mix of these. Be vulnerable. You are still a person. Do never forget about that. That's how you connect with everyone on the team, or at least open for connections. And make sure while you're taking care of people or dealing with strategy, you do not forget about people. And you should still give candid feedback to the organization and to people that you are connected with or are involved on the day-to-day or even from time to time. Don't forget, candid feedback is about understanding, caring, and building trust, but also being very honest. So a good mix of the do's and avoiding some of these don'ts will help shape you to a very good manager of manager and impact your agile teams. Thanks for the attention. Hope you enjoyed this content. And if you have any questions or any other items, just shoot me a mail. Have a great event. Bye bye for now.